ball
get
with his
it.
back foot.
Yeah.
Think about that disparity, that distance between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, when last year we would have thought about them being side by side.
This is the first time that I've seen Aaron Rodgers really miss Devontae Adams, though. And you probably never could. The reason is
because most people would say he's missed them all year, Key.
Yes. That's the first thing we talked about at the beginning of the year.
This is the first time that I really have.
So what are you seeing? What are you seeing that makes you say last night was the first time?
Well, because typically when a quarterback is looking for somebody to throw the football to, that means nobody's getting open. That means nobody's getting open, and he's got to just figure out how to do it. When you got a guy like Devontae Adams in there, you never even get to the other people because he's always open. So you done got rid of the ball, so I never have to hold it to get to 2 to 3 and back to 4. I got rid of the ball.
And he's going to be where he's supposed to be.
And he's going to be where he's supposed to be. So last night as I'm watching it, I'm like, man, this is the first time I really, because the other times it was they dropped the ball. Okay, they didn't separate. But this time, nobody was getting any separation and getting open.
But Key, a lot of these passes were just errant passes.
Yeah.
Like they weren't because guys
Not
weren't
precise.
where they were supposed to be. He wasn't precise at all.
Yeah, but what happens in that though is when you're looking for 17, and that's what you've been looking at for the last 12 years, and it's not there. Now you got to get to everybody else, and they're not open. So I'm just like I said to you, all of a sudden it looked like I'm just going through the motions at that point in time. If you look, it just seems like right there he throws a deep post. Like he's expecting that dude to run, and Watson's not separating. He's not running. He's almost locked in, tied up with the DB.
I don't know, man. From the beginning of the year, I said I thought they were going to miss Devontae Adams.
Well,
I've been on this from the beginning.
Of course, but this is the first time I got a chance to see it.
I hear you.
While I'm watching it, it looked like, you know what? He's really missing him.
But typically when they say growing pains for a lot of these young players, like all right, beginning of the year, growing pains for Aaron Rodgers to figure out his new wide receiving core and what that's going to be like with Randall Cobb and Lazard and all these guys. It just feels like those growing pains have never really equated into the next iteration of it. Like they came out of it. They still look like they're in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, Key, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like that's what you're saying. Like it's one thing to make a correlation. We no longer have this guy and we're not winning as much, right? It's another thing to sit down and go, oh, I see it. This is like today it shows up. He's not just, missing guy, or it's a whole problem, right? The whole thing. Not having Devontae Adams there to bail him out, to be where he's supposed to be for a timing type play, for when stuff isn't working out, to get himself open, all that kind of stuff.
There's throws that Aaron Rodgers made that Devontae Adams would have been in that spot. He'd have been there.
How much of it is Rodgers falling off, though, and how much of it is not having Devontae?
I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's falling off at all. I'd take him tomorrow. I don't think he's falling off.
Is that because of faith in him? Because you've seen it for so many years now? You're like, come on, that's Aaron Rodgers.
Because you can look at it and tell that he's not playing with stuff right now. And they're a bad team. Things are bad all the way around them. You take Aaron Rodgers and you put him with a group of receivers that's good.
Put him on the Vikings.
Yeah, but that would be cheating at that point.
Right.
You put him on the Vikings, put him on Cincinnati.
You don't see deterioration in Aaron Rodgers, or you're saying
really at all? No. He looked like cold.
I thought he looked from what I saw last night. Again, the first half on Staten Island, but
it looked different to me.
No, he ain't no deterioration. No, we're not going down that road.
I'm not saying he still can't play at a high level, but it has not looked
because he wasn't deteriorating last week when he was dropping.
But that was one game, though.
I understand that, but there's been other games where he's delivered the football and you go, whew. I mean, there has been other games, even though they've lost. There's been other games where you're like,
I'm just saying,
man, I mean, that dude has some players around him.
It has came off a knock compared to back-to-back MVP years. So, I mean, the statement isn't inaccurate, Max. There has been a drop-off as opposed to back-to-back MVP years.
I didn't see the first half because I was at Teddy Atlas's fundraiser talking to Dustin Poirier. Pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, by the way, Poirier shows up at this thing, spends his whole night, gets all the way out to Staten Island, shows up, the whole thing, and then comes out of his pocket with money, donates money to the organization, like a good chunk of money to the organization to like, that's a real dude right there coming off a tough fight.
That's what's
so, you know why I bring that up, Jay? That's a winner.
Ooh. Are we doing it again?
We do it every single day.
Winning
4
word.
times a day. We're on the air 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. We're giving away $10K a day on KJM, the KJM 10K a day giveaway. Winning word every hour. You text it to 777-000. You text the winning word, and you are entered for your chance to win $2,500. We've given away $60,000 so far. The winning word is
KJ and Max 10K giveaway.
done. D-O-N-E, as in I think I'm the only one who doesn't think the Packers are done. No purchase necessary. Ends December 7, 2022. See complete official rules at espnradio.com/contest. Text DONE, D-O-N-E, to 777-000, 777-000, and you have entered for your chance to win $2,500. Someone's going to win $2,500 this hour. Going to be you? Which quarterback has...
And I got two of them now, so that's three? I thought it was two. Damn. I call myself a young Peyton Manning, so it felt good, and I was happy Hoop caught it, and we were able to score.
What's it like when that play was called in the huddle?
I'm like, damn, I got to make it. I got to make it. Good thing we were running the ball pretty well and got him to bite, and he was wide open in the end zone.
All right, he was the guy you expected to be carrying the ball. But did you know, Mrs. Briscoe, Derrick Henry, the first player to have at least 20 carries.
That's my mother-in-law. Let's go back.
Okay. First player to have at least 20 carries, complete at least 2 passes, throw for a touchdown, and run for another, all in the same game since the late, great Walter Payton did it in an overtime loss to the Saints.
Pretty nice little road win for the Titans in Lambeau Field. Look, Derrick Henry did it all. He ran the ball, he caught the ball, he even passed the ball a couple of times here. What did you like the most about how the Titans used him?
I loved their patience with him, Nicole. I thought that was the key. You know, when you look at the first half, 17 carries, but he was averaging less than 3 yards per carry. I mean, that's patience and sticking with it. And I think that's critical because ultimately what happens as the game goes on, it starts to open things up. It's probably one of his best runs of the first half right there. You can just see the power, yards after contact. This is a touchdown in the first half. You can't tell me that Jair Alexander was excited about getting involved here and making this tackle. That's why it's important when you have a back like Henry to stick with it. And then what that can do is open up some of the stuff off of that action. It's a play action screen that goes to Henry, and then you get the big boy in the open field. And so I thought it was a nice plan by Mike Vrabel and his staff. You mentioned the passing touchdown, also, a bit of a gadget play on a 4th down to get him the football. So I do think they had a nice plan, and they executed it well on the road against really what's been a pretty good defense.
Speaking of what has been pretty good defense, I mean, Green Bay. We were just standing here not that long ago talking about the Packers saving their season because they'd gone and they'd beaten the Cowboys. And now here we are, just a handful of days later. The state of the Packers is what right now?
Yeah, I mean, the likelihood of them thinking that they have a chance to rally and be playing in the postseason, I think that opportunity is basically closed. The reason I say it, there aren't signs of life in their offense. Like, sure, they've gotten some big plays out of, Watson in the passing game. That's great. But, Aaron Rodgers just is missing throws that he typically doesn't miss. There's receivers that they are counting on that clearly are not delivering. And so some of the things that they thought maybe would be early season kind of growing pains without Devontae Adams, they haven't grown through them. They're just pains now. And, here we are, well into November. That's a problem. I think it's too late to fix.
They have only 4 wins this season, which is about as big as the percentage point of them making the postseason, which is at like 6%. Tim, thank you very much.